Welcome to session 3. In this session, we're going to look at examples of bad referencing. So I often find it's easier to understand how to do something when you see how not to do it. So we're going to start with when a student will just change a word or two from a quote. So if we have the original here, according to the lexical restructuring hypothesis, children learn new words by drawing implicit comparisons between similar sounding words. And the student writes in their essay, according to the lexical restructuring hypothesis, children learn new words by drawing unconscious comparisons between similar sounding words. So you can see here that the student has attempted to reference. However, this is incomplete referencing. As you can see here, the majority of the words, well, all of them except one, are taken directly from this author. And so this is incorrect paraphrasing. It can be constituted as plagiarism. What can you do to fix it? Well, firstly, you need to paraphrase. If you're going to use the words of the author, as I showed you in the previous session, you must indicate this with inverted commas. But here, we can paraphrase in our own words to say, the lexical restructuring hypothesis explains that when children hear a new word, they compare this word to a word they already know that sounds similar. Children can then learn this new word by comparing the two. So it's not the best paraphrase, but you can see there that I've tried to explain what the original author wanted to say, and then I have given her credit for that. Let's look at another example. If you also don't show that it's a direct quote, this is plagiarism. So here's our original. The findings of this study suggest that mother tongue education does not automatically guarantee successful attainment of early literacy skills. And our student writes, in her study of grade 1 Northern Sotho speakers, Wilsonach found that mother tongue education does not automatically guarantee successful attainment of early literacy skills. And so what we can see here is that although the student has referenced, they've used the same words as the original author and not indicated this with quotation marks. And so a better way to have done this would have been to put the direct quote in quotation marks to show that it's a quote. So you can see here, we've used quotation marks, we've also added in the page number, and we ended it with a full stop. Another way that you can be plagiarizing is when you don't cite at all. So if we have our same quote and our student paraphrases it or even uses the same words and then puts no reference, this is explicit plagiarism. You cannot take the words or ideas of another author and not cite them in your essay or assignment. And so how the student should have done this is to put those exact same words in quotation marks, indicated the page number, as well as the author and publication details. So I actually find this comes up a lot in our assignments. Students, please note this is plagiarism. You have to cite whenever you use the words or ideas of another author. So in summary, you plagiarize when you do not acknowledge your sources. And remember, that means you must do an in-text citation and include a full reference in your reference list. So it's plagiarism when you use the exact words and you don't use quotation marks or supply the page number. So even if you use quotation marks, but then you don't give the page number, you're still referencing incorrectly. It's also plagiarism when you replace only one or two words. Remember, if you'd rather use the words of the author, place it all in quotation marks. Otherwise, paraphrase properly. And also, you're plagiarizing when you do not reference at all. So I hope this gives you an understanding of how you should be referencing and what plagiarism looks like.